The Indian team, as you know, right now is in the pink of its health after registering that commanding win over Australia and kick-starting their World Cup campaign on a bang. But unfortunately, the same can't be said about Shubman Gill's health at the moment, which he missed out on that game versus Australia because of dengue, as was being reported. At that time, the Indian team management was still waiting on the details as to whether he can recover in time or whether his condition worsens or not. And then, as we reported here on Sports Today yesterday, that he had not travelled with the team from Chennai to Delhi for the next match versus Afghanistan. So clearly he's not playing the next match as well. Now, in the latest news that's coming in with regards to his health is that he has now been admitted in a Chennai hospital. Earlier, he was recuperating in the hotel, but now because his platelet count went very low, as you know, can happen in dengue, he was admitted to a hospital in Chennai where they're going to monitor him for the next 2 days. Today being Tuesday, the next 2 days are going to be very important. So Thursday is when the doctors are going to take a call on Shubman Gill whether to release him from the hospital or not, which means two things. One, of course, he's missing the next game, as I mentioned earlier. The other is that it also cast doubts about his participation for the Pakistan game, though he's not been ruled out for that game as yet. As I said, Thursday they will take a call whether he should then travel to Ahmedabad or continue to stay in Chennai. He will only travel to Ahmedabad that if his conditions improves on Thursday. Then he travels to Ahmedabad for the game versus Pakistan that is to be played on Saturday, and for that too they will take a call right before the game was to start. Now, if you look at the entire situation, it does seem unlikely that he will play that game versus Pakistan, because if Thursday you're going to take a call, would you want to risk him, fly him to Ahmedabad and then get him to play a game straight away? Maybe not. Also remember, typically, and this is not particularly about Shubman Gill's case because we don't know the details, doctors are the best people to tell you, but typically if you were to ask any doctor, they'll say that it takes about 3 weeks to fully recover from dengue, not just from the fever but also from the fatigue. So 3 weeks would be a time where a player would be 100% fit physically to take the field. But we don't know Shubman Gill's condition because sometimes dengue is detected much late, so it could be that somebody is suffering for dengue for a very long time, maybe 2 weeks already, and then does not get any fever, does not get too many symptoms, and sometimes the symptom come very late in the last week. So whether in Shubman's case that dengue was detected very late, we do not know. If it is very late, then it's only about a week till he can recover fully. We do not know, and I think at the moment the Indian team is also giving Shubman the best chance possible for him to play. But as you heard from Rohit Sharma the other day, he said, listen, before I'm a captain, before I'm a cricketer, I'm a human being, and I would have all the empathy towards Shubman Gill's fitness. As much as we would like him, we would first want him to be 100% fit and raring to go. So that was also an indication that the Indian team is looking at a long absence of Shubman Gill with their team. Now, what has that done? So as I said, not playing Afghanistan seems unlikely that he will be playing that game versus Pakistan. They're going to be observing him for the next 48 hours. That's going to be crucial. The interesting bit is that on the day of the Afghanistan game, that is the 11th of October, the selectors are also going to be meeting with the team management. So selectors meeting with Rahul Dravid and captain Rohit Sharma, and then they're going to discuss, because by that time you will also have the full report, that 48 hour later, that report that is going to come from the doctors, and they'll have a better picture as to when can he fully recover. If they think that it is still a 3 weeks time for him to recover, then maybe the Indian team might be tempted to look for a replacement. At the moment, the names doing the round and the names that the selectors are thinking of are these two, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Yashasvi Jaiswal, both openers. You're looking for a replacement there, and I think it's also prompted by the fact how Ishan Kishan played in that first game. Never judge a player just based on one innings, because he was showing some great form before that, but I think it's in the manner in which Ishan got out which may have worried the team management. Also, in case of another injury to an opener, how do you then suddenly find a backup? So you always need a backup opener in the team. So even if you persist with Ishan for a few more games, you would still need a backup of sorts. So if the condition isn't great, if it is going to take him 3 weeks, then they may be tempted to have a backup. But what I feel at the moment, it's very unlikely that you will replace Shubman Gill from the 15 altogether and bring in a replacement. So that seems unlikely at the moment. What the Indian team can look at, which a lot of teams are doing, that if you want, you can have Yashasvi Jaiswal as well as Ruturaj Gaikwad be with the team as travelling reserves. We've seen a lot of teams like Jofra Archer, for example, is one of those travelling reserves. Travis Head for Australia, travelling reserves, not part of the 15, but they've not also officially made a change in that 15. So you can do that. In which case, you wouldn't want to completely take Shubman out of the 15, but even if it's going to take 2-3 weeks, you'd still be wanting to keep Shubman, that whenever he's fit, maybe even 2 weeks later, we'll want him, because it's a very long tournament. You'll require him for games later, half of that league stage, and then the semis if you were to make it, and finals. So they may stick with him. What you can look at doing is either Yashasvi or Ruturaj, whoever the team management decides, can go in as a travelling reserve. I think they're going to give enough chances to an Ishan Kishan for the moment, which means you don't immediately need an opener. Keep a backup in case on the day of the game there is an injury to a player, as a opener in particular, then you can draft one of them who is travelling with the squad. So that seems like the most likely scenario. Who between Yashasvi, Ruturaj, we wouldn't know, but you'd think that it could be Yashasvi Jaiswal who might get that edge to be a travelling reserve, being with the team in case they feel Shubman is not going to be fit immediately and may take a few more weeks, because Yashasvi in fine form, as we saw, both are back from the Asian Games where they had travelled. Yashasvi has been in fine form, and also the left-handed option he gives you, so a left-handed, right-handed opener is what they can look at. So these are the two names that they can consider for that backup spot. So that's the latest update. Not great news as far as Shubman Gill's health is concerned, but as I said, 48 hours are going to be crucial. Whatever is going to be the medical update on Thursday from the hospital in Chennai, we'll bring you that first on Sports Today. For the moment, this is Nikhil Naz signing off. For more such content, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.